Um, Make sure that you give yourself a hand clap. I want you to be motivated. I want you to be able to have a good mind, good spirit, good attitude about taking on today's whatever task you have for today. In this video, we're going to talk about what's going on with Transunion. And this is like a validation of what we had to tell our customers, because this lawsuit, and this is a class action lawsuit that made it through, got approved, but Transunion actually lifted this up to the United States Supreme Court. And there is some good news and then there is some bad news. It looks like right now, the way it sits is that the class action settlement will not go through, but the information that I'm about to tell you will actually give you comfort. Let's just use that word. It will give you comfort that the work that we've been doing as a credit repair company for challenging information on Transunion reports, and if you've been doing it yourself, it will give you comfort that you've been doing the right thing, that Transunion was actually working against the people who were trying to get information disputed on their credit report. So here's the class action settlement. As it was pending, it was brought about by an individual who received what's called that, I think it was a 502 letter from Transunion. And so this is the website if you want to go and read more about it. This video is going to be mainly focusing on the reason why this lawsuit came about, because it's very important. Everyone who is trying to repair their credit and has issues on Transunion, this whole case, what happened in this is exactly what has been going on for a number of years, and it's going to have, you're going to want to know about this. So it was dealing with this 502 letter that Transunion was sending out. So you would dispute information on your credit reports, and you would get this letter back, and the letter was twofold. I've done videos about this. Part of the letter was like, in a way, making it like you as the consumer was not smart enough to put this letter together to challenge the information on your credit reports. And then they would say that if you're paying someone to do it to help you repair your credit, you don't have to pay anybody to do it. And that also, you have to tell us that you're having someone help you repair your credit. And we're just sending you this letter back. Now, and what they didn't do is, in some cases, they didn't even investigate the disputes that people were sending in. We were seeing from our clients, they would get the letter, they were, I wouldn't say upset with us, but they had like anxiety, like Transunion is saying that we can't do this. They're saying that we cannot dispute our information, that we cannot use you to repair our credit. All of these things, like they were just like, why would we get this letter from them? And then some clients would get the results like a couple of days later. They would either get the results in the mail or they would get the results changing the information on their credit reports. And we would tell people, just, calm down. This is something that they've been sending out to get people not to want to work on their credit. Allegedly, because we're a company, we don't want to say that someone's doing it on purpose. But we see here with a class action lawsuit that attorneys decided to take on. They had saw enough evidence, so it wasn't just like one person saying it. They had proof, and they said that Transunion was sending out its 502 letter in response to written dispute of an inquiry for this individual for an inquiry. But we've seen this 502 letter be sent out when people were disputing anything. And it says here there has been no money or benefit recovered to date, and that there is no guarantee that money will be recovered in the future. And the court did grant a motion to clarify the class, and you have a choice to to make now. So what they're saying is that they want people to join this class action, and you can go here to get your to number one, read about it, and number two, to insert yourself into the class. Now, what caught my eye, I want to go right here. You can, they have the important documents. You can go there. You can download the actual class action complaint. You can see the defendant's answer. You can see the court opinion and order to clarify the class notice. You can see all of that information on there. And the one that I want to pay attention to is, here we go. What is the lawsuit about? So we can read here, plaintiff. Dwayne Norman Sr. alleges that after he submitted a dispute to transaction that his credit report was obtained without authorization or a proper purpose, Transunion did not contact the company that requested the credit report, nor did it remove the notation called a hard inquiry that he disputed. Instead, Transunion mailed Mr. Norman and the other class members, including you, a 502 letter that stated, and here it is here, inquiries listed on your credit report are a record of the companies that obtain your credit information. The identity of each company by trade name or contact information is provided. All inquiries remain on the credit report for 2 years. Credit information may be requested only for the following permissible purposes: credit transactions, employment consideration, review or collection of existing accounts, or other legitimate business need, insurance, underwriting, government licensing, rental, dwelling, or pursuant to a court order. Pursuit to a court order. So they, that when I talk about that with debt collectors taking people to court, they will look on your credit report to kind of see what your situation is, and they can use that as proof to the judge. Your written authorization may not be required to constitute permissible purpose. That's if they're trying to seek information on you. If you believe that an inquiry on your credit report was made without a permissible purpose, then you may wish to contact the creditor directly by phone regarding this purpose. So they were sending out this 502 letter, and they were also sending this out when people were disputing information on their credit report. They would send this letter out, and it would get people in an uproar because they're like, you're the one that's reporting that information. You're the one that's supposed to do the investigation. And according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you are the one that is like the overseer, you and the other 3 bureaus. So if I have any dispute, I'm supposed to go to you, and you're supposed to go to the furnisher. You're not supposed to make me have to contact the furnisher, even though if you watch my videos with the Credit Repair Shop, I say you should always contact the furnisher and the bureau. You should do double work, because that's just the way that things are. The way that you're going to be able to get the most, the fastest result is by contacting them both. So we see here this individual was disputing an inquiry. He received that 502 letter, but we've noticed that this 502 letter was being sent if you were disputing a collection, if you were disputing, we don't dispute late pays, but if individuals were disputing late payments, if they were disputing inquiries, if they were disputing inaccurate balances. Basically, what this whole lawsuit is about is that Transunion, when they received disputes, regardless of what type of dispute it was, when they received the disputes, they just sent out this auto-generated 502 letter to consumers, and they didn't do their job. That's the bottom line. That's what happened, is that they just didn't do their job. And that's according to this class action. Now, the update that I have on the class action, you can see the different question and answers that they had put in there. What I've seen when I was doing my research this morning is that the U.S. Supreme Court is actually stating that this class action needs to be clarified because the way that it is, the way that they've, you know, with I guess with their response, the way that they've responded to the questions that the Supreme Court had, is that they don't believe that they believe that it lacks the basis for this class action to go through. It could be a technical reason. When I went to see that reason, it was not. It was a sealed. The response was sealed, so they're probably giving both sides an opportunity to, read it over and make whatever adjustment. Well, really, the class action side is going to have to clarify and then send it back up and see if this is going to be able to go through. But regardless of that, so that's one side. The side that I want you to pay attention to is that that Transunion is now on record from this class action lawsuit that was initiated, that they were getting disputes and that they were not doing investigations. They were just drafting up that 502 letter. That's what they were doing. They were just drafting up, and it states it right here that what they were doing was just sending out the 502 letter in response to written disputes of an inquiry for this individual. But we know that they were sending out that letter in mass to anyone that was trying to dispute information on their credit reports. All right, please like this video, please subscribe to the channel, please post your questions and comments. If you want more information about this one, you can go to the Transunion Dispute Class Action.com. I could tell you that right now everything is on hold, but you should still submit your information if you believe that you have an issue with what they were doing. If you were either trying to repair your credit and they sent you that letter back and it caused you some sort of harm. Maybe you were going to get a home, a mortgage, maybe you were trying to buy a car, you were trying to get credit for something, and because they didn't do their investigation, that caused you harm. You would be able to actually initiate your own lawsuit if you want to get an attorney, or you can put yourself into the class action. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, what makes us different, so you can see my 8-point validation process and my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com. Get your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. You need all of that information on it. That's why I recommend this one, not the free services, because you need to get all of the data to be able to do challenges to the bureaus and challenges to the furnishers. If you have debt collectors coming after you, grab my 3-pack of letters: statute of limitations, debt validation, cease and desist collection activities letter, where you can stop debt collectors before they move forward. You have 30 days to stop them, and if you respond to them in the appropriate way, you can actually stop a lot of things from happening, because after that 30 days, they can put that information on your credit report. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams.